I'm Jason McLean, Secretary Treasurer of NUPCI, the National Union of Public and General Employees. We represent about 450,000 members across this country, and I'm very proud to be here today. I was thinking about what it was that I was going to talk about here at the Equity Summit, and first thing I want to do is thank the officers of NSGU, the Board of Directors of NSGU, and specifically I want to thank the Equity Council of NSGU for getting this event going and having us here today. Thank you very much. I also want to bring greetings from our National President, Bert Blunden, who could not be here today. I think he's stuck in a snowbank in Newfoundland, but he also would like to acknowledge and say hello to everyone. So in this, when we're talking about equity in NSGU, you posed the question, what's the big idea? Well, when I look at back to the history of NSGU, I have to look at my own journey within NSGU. So some people do know my story. I was a correctional officer. I had a joke, picture it, Sydney, 1996. I started in corrections in Cumberland Correctional Facility back in 1995, and I transferred in 1996 to Cape Breton Correctional Facility. I wanted to go home. So in my working within the correctional facility, I realized that it wasn't an inclusive place. It was very racist. It was a place that I felt I didn't belong. And that's where I have to give a shout out to a couple of people that I met throughout the years. And one of them actually just left, was Delvina Bernard. I took a program under Delvina Bernard where she taught African Nova Scotia history. And that is something that opened my eyes as a young man and really entrenched in me that I don't have to take it if it's going to be put out there that way. So working in the correctional facility, I was dealing with a lot of things of race, not necessarily towards myself, but I would hear jokes about others when they weren't there. And it just was a poisonous work environment to where I went to the Human Rights Commission and I made a complaint to where I thought I would be ostracized throughout the facility, to where I learned that wasn't the case. There was people that felt the way that they felt, that they were racist. And then there was other people that felt the way I felt, that this shouldn't be. And those people stood by me. And mainly it was two people that were leaders within my local of NSGU, Jim Goss and Gary Smith. And both of those people really let me know that I could be myself and and I don't have to put up with this. So it was through the growth with them that I decided to become part of the local executive. And then I went on to be, really to get out of their hair. They sent me to run for the board of directors to where I got elected, much to their surprise. But that's all history, because when I came to the NSGU board of directors, it was arms wide open for me. It was a place where I got to just be myself and really voice the opinions that were around there. And at the same time, I was a trainer with the Department of Justice. I'd seen the contrast that, you had to follow policy in the department. And there were still policies in the union, but you got to be who you want to be. And a lot of ideas that I brought to the table, didn't necessarily go through, but they were considered. And that was something that made me gravitate more towards the union. So in that, we also saw that the union did not get involved with issues of race. Yes, a grievance could be filed, but things were put in abeyance for a while until the Human Rights Commission would deal with issues and stuff like that, to where myself and other people, such as Rocky Beals was there at the time. I don't see you here, Rocky. I know you're here. There you are. And Martha Brown was on the executive. Krista Caldwell, you were there as well. We really, I believe, moved the needle within NSGU to have the union start get involved with issues of race. And that just kept snowballing. It's all, I call it, it's a progress to progression is what I call it. And so, or a progression to progress. So we all started to say, you know, NSGEU is you are the union. When I became president of NSGEU, we started talking about, you know, people within the union, because we had a premier that would say he would talk to our members all the time, and that wasn't the case. And we'd say, no, you are the union, and not only that, NSGEU members are the people that are sitting next to you in church, the people that are at the hockey game with you, or reffing the game, or we're all throughout the community. We are the NSGEU. So in moving the policies along, and again, I have to thank the officers, the former officers of the NSGEU and the board of directors for adopting a few key resolutions that we've had over the last convention. And one was the creation of equity seats within NSGEU. Another one was the Equity Council. That was very important. And another one would be the Equity Summit that we're participating in today. And I think the theme is within what is the big idea. The big idea is inclusion, equity, and diversity, and it is broadening our tent, if I could say it that way. It's making people feel like they are welcome and they belong. And that isn't something you have to tell somebody, that is something that they have to feel. And I think NSGEU is moving on to that and really starting to do the work. And then the issues that we see that come to the bargaining table as well. So we have, you know, a few things that have come forward, and I'd like to thank Sean Fuller, who is in the room as well, on championing changes in language that, you know, could negatively affect people within workplaces, and people such as Alexander Smith. You never thought I would thank you up on a podium. Thank you very much for your work at the bargaining table as well. Because NSGEU, in order to, I think, advance issues, it's about creating bridges, making partnerships, and we're not always the opposition to employers, we're partners with employers. We've done a lot of good work over the years with employers in bringing issues forward and learning from them. One thing that NSGEU has been doing through President Mullen as well has been working with our national executive board and seeing what equity issues are being advanced within our components. We have some components that are far more advanced than others, and we have other components that are there wanting to learn, wanting to take things in. And the good thing about the National Union is we always want to share, and we always want to improve who we are as trade unionists, as in people. So I'll leave you with this. I'm very proud to be here today. I want to thank you for allowing me to address you and talk to you. But the NSGEU is really moving things along. They really want to get involved. And the key is to get involved, to maintain the relationships that you got involved with, and growing in our solidarity and being the place that everyone belongs. So I leave you with one question. What are you going to do after today? What is it that you're going to bring home? And I mean your homes, your workplaces, your communities. What are you going to do? That's not a challenge, but I want you to ask yourself, you've learned something today, or you're going to learn something today. I want you to bring it home, and I want you to teach somebody else as well. Thank you very much.